Hello everyone, 76 Patriot here, and I'm back from my relatively short hiatus. Apologies for that. But today I'm just going to be looking at Kamala Harris's potential VP picks, at least those that we know of. So, as we can see, Josh Shapiro, governor of PA, and Mark Kelly, who's senator from Arizona, appear to be the top two picks as of right now. They've been in the news a lot lately. We also have Tim Walz. I believe I actually spelled that wrong. But he's governor of Minnesota. He's kind of also a dark horse kind of candidate, if you will. Roy Cooper, governor of North Carolina, dropped out, kind of withdrew his name from the hat, if you will. Andy Bashir, we thought could be at first, but it looks like it's down to these two guys. And I believe it's a credible source I read, Harris will officially name her pick before August 7th. I'm not sure if that's 100% accurate, but it sounds very plausible. And so this is big. Yeah, full presidential ticket next Tuesday in Philly is going to be the first public appearance. And I think that lends a lot of weight to the Shapiro argument that it would be Josh Shapiro, because she's not going to go to his home state and completely sideswipe the guy, because he's been a vocal kind of advocate and proponent is a better word recently for her, kind of stumping for Harris and her campaign. And so it's pretty interesting. Yeah, they say the vice president has yet to button down her pick because, and I totally understand this, there is a lot of debate because the thing is, we talk about electability. Both Shapiro and Kelly are two candidates that really kind of pose themselves as these very moderate, quote unquote, Democrat candidates. The thing is, they're not. I mean, Shapiro is the closest, I will give him credit, to being an actual moderate as far as governors. He's certainly possibly the most moderate Democrat governor. Um, certainly one of them. Mark Kelly, though, he says he's moderate. This is how he kind of grifted his way to the Senate. He's not actually that moderate. He votes basically 99% with Biden. Um, so either way, it's not like you're going to get an actual decent ideological pick, because obviously not. Look how crazy far left the Democrat Party has gone. But regardless, I can imagine Harris's team thinking that maybe we can win over some moderate voters or something like that. I don't know how well that card's going to play because the Veep picks, or Veeps in general, have not really. You could make the argument Johnson won Texas for Kennedy back in 1960. That would be really the closest thing we've seen to that in recent years. Vice presidential candidates really never actually go out and win states for the president. They can make things competitive, maybe, but like, just if Shapiro's the nominee, as I see there's a lot of people dooming, oh, Pennsylvania's gone. That's solid Dem now. Definitely not. Because this is a national race at this point, not a statewide race anymore, obviously. But basically, back to what I kind of made this video to talk about. Sorry, I got in a bit of a rabbit trail there. It's going to be interesting to see who she picks. Obviously, right now my money's probably on Shapiro, just due to the fact that Harris will be in Philly and with her running mate. And exactly, this is what I was saying. It might seem a little rude to hold another candidate's welcome party on his doorstep. Yeah, he's very much on board with the Harris campaign. Mark Kelly, I was thinking it could be him for a while, but this is interesting. According to Bloomberg, labor groups aren't enamored with him as a number two, complaining he isn't supportive enough of the trade union movement. I don't know how true that is, but it's interesting fact for sure. And I think the Democrats are going to do even significantly worse with unions this year than in 2020. And it's interesting, yeah, Harris's vetting team had met with both these guys, Shapiro and Kelly. And it's practically, I do disagree with this article right here. Harris, who is this? The Daily Beast. Yeah, probably the most ridiculous source ever written, but it was a decent summation overall, I thought. But yeah, Harris is refusing to be rushed, knowing the result. The election could well hang on her finding the right partner. Again, presidential elections are almost never dictated by, you're still voting for the top of the top of the ticket, which is president. So a lot of people aren't going to be swayed by the second to the top. However, it could be, could play a role. We'll see what happens. But either way, Harris is not the favorite. I'm just going to come out and say that for all the dooming on the right about, polling is getting tighter, and I agree. We still have to absolutely keep our ground game going strong, and we can't give up or become overconfident. Because I do feel like there is some overconfidence going on right now, or it has been, I should say, for Trump. But I am going to say, if anybody thinks that Harris is the favorite right now and that she's going to just sweep the nation with some kind of a blue wave, I'm just going to say right now, that's laughable. It's ridiculous. And the fact that she thinks a Veep will be able to help her do that is, again, quite frankly, ludicrous. Because we can see in some states, Arizona and Georgia have actually shifted slightly towards Trump overall in certain polling aggregates with Harris than compared to Biden. The other states, some of the Rust Belt states, we'll have to see what happens with them. But regardless, the election is not over all of a sudden like so many people think it is. It's just heating up, guys, and so we can't give up. We got to keep going strong. But whoever it is, whether it's Shapiro or Kelly, it's going to be interesting to see how they debate against Vance. And I know Shapiro is a very good orator. He's at least fairly good from what I've seen. He's a lot of charisma, reminiscent of Obama in some ways, kind of his manners of speaking, actually. Mark Kelly's okay from what I've seen. But either way, it'll be interesting as Vance becomes more charismatic and in kind of more of the open public eye, even though he was in the Senate, of course. I think he's doing a lot better with his rallies. There's a lot of people that have originally were like, Vance has no charisma. He's just very boring and kind of milquetoast speaker. I think he's doing quite a bit better, really kind of lining up with Trump as far as calling out the things that need to be called out and issues that are relevant to the average American. So that'll be interesting to see the Veep debate, what happens if it is indeed Shapiro, which a lot of people's money is kind of on him now. I'm not sure. It's not a done deal. It's interesting speculating, I will say that. I will mention before I leave this video that basically the one single problem with Shapiro, and it's not a problem, but it is for the Democrats, is that he's Jewish. And that is an issue with the far left, radical, crazy, anti-Israel movements. Because if a lot of them, they were kind of not supporting Biden due to his stances on pro-Israel, Kamala is kind of tiptoeing around Israel. She didn't meet with Netanyahu, and she's kind of trying to appease both. That's the hard part with her as a candidate. She's trying to, because she's so far left, she's trying to appeal to the far lefters, but also not lose all the moderate Dems. And so somebody like Shapiro could help with moderate Dems. The problem is he's Jewish himself, so would that even alienate a lot of these pro-Palestinian Arab voters or far-left radicals? I don't know. We'll have to see. It might not actually be the smartest choice for them if they go with Shapiro, so we'll just have to see. Again, I'm just kind of rambling at this point a little bit too much, guys. Just some speculation. It's going to be interesting to see. I don't think it's going to change, whoever it is, I don't think it's going to change the race in a massive way. It's still, I would have Trump as certainly the favorite as of right now. And, I would make the case just as favored. My predictions haven't changed a ton since Biden was in the race. I think there's some states Trump might perform slightly less as well now, and then some states I think he'll do even better with Harris as the nominee. So we'll just have to see. Let's not be alarmist or dooming about this is going to, because a lot of people I've been seeing, if it's Shapiro, the election's over. That's not true. Let's just see what happens. We can't get cocky. We can't get overconfident. Just pedal, gas to the floor, so to speak, until November. But that's basically it for this one, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. It's great to be back on the channel. And again, have a great day.